guys, it's me UBprogrammer and welcome to the R programming series. And today we're gonna talk about matrix in R. So how do you define and create matrices in RStudio? That's our main topic, right? Okay, and one thing I want you to know about, if you are enrolled in any bachelor's or master program, you can contact me on this WhatsApp or email to discuss about your coursework or projects you are working on. Okay, let's just get started with the matrices. So basically what matrices are, let me just write it down and you can get this source codes also checking out the description. So matrix is basically the combination of vectors. So we have seen vectors and have done some operations on vectors in these tutorials. This is the playlist, right? And now we are just combining these vectors into a matrix or a table format, because as you know, data everywhere is mostly in the tabular format, right? Let's just define some vectors first. So I'm gonna call vec1, which means vector 1, and defining vector is 1 2 3 4 5. So it's contained 5 elements and I have defined one vector. Let's create 2 more. So I got 3 vectors and what we want is now combine them, right? So I want to create a matrix. I will just name it as matrix, and then I will use a function which is by default in R, giving me this very exact functionality to combine these vectors. So let me just write down all the names of my vectors and see what we get. Let's just run. Okay, and just see the output. So we got a matrix which has all these elements in it in the tabular format, right? Now we want to change the column names also, right? So how we can do that is just say the column names of this matrix and just define a vector about it, right? So I will just say col1, and don't forget to keep it in the quotation so that they can be known as strings, and then column 2, and I will just copy paste it. Okay, column 5, column 4, column 3, column 2, right? And just like that I'm gonna define rows because it is by default taking the names of my vector, but I want to define something else, right? So I will just use row names command and just give it as dummy row names. You can do it accordingly as your data set you are preparing or any matrices you want to prepare, right? And then just close it down and just let's again see our matrix. So we have successfully changed the column name accordingly and the row names also. You can just say these row names as, let me just, because sometimes we just want to give it an index, right? So 1 2 3, and it will exactly do the same thing. Just comment it out. Now just run this. So you got like 1 2 3, and you can do the same with columns also, but let's do this the same as before, and now we will access these matrix, right? And one thing I want you to know about, you can use column bind also, because r bind is short for row bind, and you can use column bind also. Just define these vectors and combine them with column bind, and if you see now, you will just see it is combining as vectors. So this is one column, then this is the second column, then the third vector is our third column. But you have to now change the row names and column name accordingly, because you got now 3 columns instead of 5 columns, right? Okay, but let's just do the row bind for now, and now we will see how we can access these elements, right? Let me just make room for that one. Let's say I want to access this element 13, right? So I will just write matrix, and in the square brackets I will just specify my row name, which is 2, and the column name, which is 4. Let's see what we get. So we got 14, right? Exactly what we wanted. And let's say I want this full first row, 1 2 3 4 5. So I'm gonna do that. Let me just matrix, and we'll keep it a space, and for rows I will just use 1 and comma nothing. Let's see. So you got 1 2 3 4 5, right? And same goes for the column. If I just wanted first column, the full first column, right? So I can just nothing comma 1, and it will give you the first column 1 11 12, right? So this is the first column. And so what you can take from this thing is that if you are specifying it as the first index, it will be row, and then the second will be column. And if you are not defining or specifying anything, it will take just everything from that row or column, right? So that's all for it, matrices, guys, and let's create some more matrices in our further course, and we will just create a data frame about it, right? And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.